Another day, another chance to be great. Where should I begin? Well, first and foremost, you're listening to the Crypto Wonder. Wishing you all are doing well. I'm a content creator, a blogger, a streamer, an internet uh, participant. I like crypto, like a bunch of different things. When I get on streams, I talk primarily about crypto, right? And it's come to sort of like my attention. Well, I should say this before I continue. It's no secret that those who've been listening to me for quite a while, and even new people, you get a sense of what I like to talk about in terms of cryptocurrency. Shout out to the chat, shout out to the viewers, shout out to the replay gang, those who are going to catch the stream after the live. You get a sense of the cryptos that I talk about. The reason why, if you didn't know up till now about why I speak about certain cryptos, is because I like the cryptos that I talk about. I just like the cryptos that I talk about. For my own personal reasons, they don't have to be your reasons. They don't have to be anyone else's reasons. Because entering this cryptocurrency space, you are bombarded with an untold amount of choices. I actually feel bad for the no coiners, for the newbies. I actually feel like I'm worried for them, because you enter the space, maybe they might be introduced to Bitcoin first, and perhaps after that it could be something else, a meme token, whatever. But I feel bad for new people who come into this space now, because I knew how I felt when I came in. I was excited, got into Bitcoin, loved what it was doing at the time because I didn't know any better. Got into Ethereum, did the same thing, etc., 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 until I started to really experience what it felt like to get scammed numerous amount of times. But something kept me here. Something kept me here because I saw the potential in what this can bring, what value this offers to my life, for my family, for my loved ones in general. And this is one of the reasons why I stopped creating the content that I used to create before crypto. Because once I got into crypto and I got a taste of what this was, I knew it was going to be an indelible part of my life for the rest of my existence. Because I see it as a way to combat a system that's designed to keep us dependent, right? To keep us woefully dependent on a legacy system that wants to control, that wants to disempower the slaves, the sheep, the naive, the weak, the vulnerable. Those who don't know just simply don't know. Crypto was born out of the banking debacle that took place in 2008, 2009, where the government had to bail out freaking banks. You had movements like Occupy Wall Street that was spawned from that period. You had movements like Bitcoin that was introduced to the world, right? We try to fight against the central banks and the governmental bodies and throughout the world that want to continuously enrich themselves and keep everyone powerless. Throughout all this time, I've seen the effects of multiple markets. The bull, I've seen the effects of the bear. I've seen how everyone sort of like gets distracted because it's a drug in a sense where you get the certain level of dopamine hit when you see money in your account growing, growing, and growing and growing, and you think it's never going to stop until it does. And you have to deal with everything that comes with the downward pressure that lasts longer than every bull market since Bitcoin has been created. The bear markets last longer. And during that time when everything is low, right? Where everything just seems like it's never going to be what it once was. If you just got into the bull, you're never going to see another bull market again. It's like you lose sight of everything rational. It goes out the window. You embrace fear, misery. You lose hope. You exit the system. You gamble. You get scammed. You get rugged. You don't know what you're doing. You panic, and then you leave. And then you lose your opportunity to set yourself up in a good position to win again when the bull market returns, because these things are cycles. It's a part of life, cycles of life. People dismiss certain aspects of life that apply here that can't be refuted. Okay. Many times I've heard community. Oh, this is like a family. Oh, we need to be together. Freaking imagine yourself holding hands with people you've never seen before. This is what you have to put your mind at ease and understanding, like, oh, crypto's for everyone. This is potpourri. We're just going to seek the ultimate utopian society. Kumbaya. Meanwhile, you want to embrace Kumbaya. Meanwhile, in your real life, when you walk away from these devices, when you walk away from these intangible blockchains, these zeros and numbers and letters, you have to deal with real life in whatever facet. Because crypto is not the sum total of our reality. And what are you faced with? Endless challenges on a day-to-day basis since we were born. Endless obstacles. Endless hurdles we have to jump over. Economic, financial strains, health issues, mental issues, social issues, political issues, all kinds of issues, family issues, all types of stuff. Where Kumbaya is almost like a figment of an imagination. You know, when I was taught Kumbaya in grade school, to sing about some Kumbaya, and like I said before, we're singing about Kumbaya, and across the street, that Kumbaya session had to cut short because across the street it was pandemonium and mania because there was a building that was burning and people were just homeless in seconds. Red Cross had to come through and save some of those people from being left out in the street. Firemen. But no, we're singing Kumbaya across the street. Kumbaya, yeah, like it's all sweet. And it's not. And that's part of life. And that's what you find in crypto too, because you're dealing with money. You're dealing with individuals. You're dealing with human beings who are complicated. You're dealing with people who are completely broken. I'm no exception when I'm saying these things. I'm a work in progress for the rest of my days, just like everyone else is. Right? But when you say and you identify the corrupt nature, the wicked, devilish, demonic spirit that people have when they're dealing with money, when they're dealing with cryptocurrency, oh, that's something that you shouldn't even talk about because you know what? No, that doesn't matter. It has no purpose here. No, this is not what this is. Well, how? How is it not what it is, right? How? What do you talk about? The ugly of the ugly, because you're talking about the spirit of decentralization, right? Who can you really gatekeep from interacting in anything involving crypto? Who can you keep from, right? Acquiring any token, any coin, any blockchain, anything, smart contract within cryptocurrency. So you're gonna have the dread of the dread. What was the history with Bitcoin? Why did these monsters or central entities, right, that want to control everything, just want to say Bitcoin was bad for, oh yeah, it's the underworld, criminal entities, you know, they buy weapons and illicit substances, and this is what they do, traffic narcotics, and they want to do all this blah blah blah. Meanwhile, what the dollar bill has blood and is stained with blood for decades. What are you talking about, man? Like, this is what it is. This is a part of what goes on here. There's nothing sweet about any of this going on, man. Everything bad, everything disgusting, everything just vile and putrid that you find in the heart of people who are hateful, right? Who have this sinister mentality you find here in crypto. It didn't disappear. It's just that now that you have this paradigm, this whole thing, this system called social media, people can become whoever they want. They could mask themselves very well, right? They could assume roles and attitudes and be anything they want to be while they hide who they truly are until they decide to send their pejorative missiles, their insults, their curses out in the world. And then what? We're in the modern era of this weird thing called cancel culture. Who can you really cancel? Who can you really get rid of and stop and really censor? In truth, when we're talking about crypto, who can you keep from interacting with anything? They'll just shut up and do anything in the background. You can't stop them, right? But people want to engender community, and it's not that I'm against community. This is the thing. This is the thing about all this. It's not that I'm against community, because without the community, none of these things would work. They already got us by the gonads and the ovaries, right? They already got us in dealing with paper money and coming together as a consensus and believing that this thing has any value. They got us by the gonads. Why? Because they have weapons to support their stance. It's no longer attached to the gold standard. right? But they have the weapons of weapons to allow us to suck it all up. Here in crypto, where things are a little bit more deregulated, people often find themselves, because they're not settled, right? They're not really mature enough. They don't have the discipline enough to understand what's really going on. They don't think that there's any value in learning and studying and absorbing the knowledge related to what's really going on over here. They allow their emotions, they allow their egos to run rampant and lose everything that they have worth having, all for the sake of having some type of fake disagreements, becoming sensitive. Everything is about, oh, you don't like what I believe, so you my enemy, you don't agree with me, and all this weird energy. But this is supposed to be, oh, kumbaya. You have to onboard, you have to go, speak the good word, and like you're an evangelist and you're Jehovah's Witness knocking on doors. Hey, look at this hex, look at Pulse Chain, knock knock. Oh yeah, my name is Crypto Wonder, and I'm part of, yeah, and Post Chain. And did you know about Dex, Pulse X? That's not reality. That's not reality. It's not reality. There's so many levels to this whole thing that we're dealing with. There's so many variables involved. There's so many dynamics. Most of us are really here for the same reasons, and we get lost. We get lost in our own a myriad of confusion. We're all in here basically for the same reasons, but what happens is you have a certain segment of people, just like in society at large, you have a certain segment of individuals, right? Because not everyone, and this is part of life, and this is why things can never truly be kumbaya. Because you have people who are just intrinsically wicked, intrinsically bad. Why do we have lockups and systems just as that? Because these bad people who do bad shit need a place to go. You have a segment of people, right, who all they do and represent is poison, and will want to sow those seeds of poison, of wretchedness, to create chaos and disorder through their thoughts, through their words, and most certainly through their actions, and try to manipulate the minds of unsuspecting, naive, new people, or people who refuse to wake up and open their eyes and become willing and receptive to be enlightened on what's really going on what's really happening, to set themselves up in a better position so that they can succeed and reach their goals. You have a segment of people who never would want that for society at all. And that's happened, that's been occurring since time immemorial. This is why I always make an effort, as to the best of my ability, to do the right thing, to say the right thing, to be cognizant of what I decide to speak about, to be cognizant. And if I'm not even speaking here, I'm carrying the torch. I'm doing what it is that I'm doing because I have people who depend on me in life. I am the needle that pulls the thread for my family. So I have to set an example and be the example. I don't just talk on a device and not live it. And I've been like that from a small, as long as I can freaking remember. You have the ignorance The ignorance of so many people here, man, who are supposed to be brilliant, who are supposed to be intelligent, who are supposed to be, so, so well endowed as far as having knowledge base and be smart and be able to discern between truth and imposter. And what do? They go on social media because they can become whoever you want to become, right? And call people names, pejorative terms. But no, this is supposed to be decentralized. It's supposed to be community. It's supposed to be togetherness. No, and some people go as far as even say family, which always makes me cringe. Because not, there's situations where family is not even family. You have friends and loved ones who are not blood relations, who are more related to you and could be closer to family to you than your own blood. So miss me with that foolishness. There are people who are out here who are suffering on a day-to-day basis. You don't think that's relevant and present in crypto? There's sick people out here, man, who are twisted mentally, psychologically damaged, sick, who would not rest. They will not stop to wreak havoc. And you see it here. See, some of us were born into poverty. Some of us were born into situations where there was stability. Some of us were born when you're very well off. But many people, everybody I would like to say can relate to pain and pleasure. You know what feels good and you know what doesn't. You understand? You have rationality. You're not a fucking animal where you can exercise free will. Right? You have the power to choose and decide what's good for you and what's not. Right? But you have individuals who are so jaded, they are so disturbed, dysfunctional. All right? They won't hesitate once they have a window of opportunity to call me a nigger, to call anybody else who's speaking real, who's speaking the truth, and they don't like it to call you a nigger. Why? Because they want to break me. They want to break us, right? They want us to stop doing whatever it is that we're doing that's going against their status quo. And especially when it's dealing with money. Just dance, nigger. Make us laugh. Since we can't hang you like we'd like, since we cannot lynch you like we like, we're going to grab you mentally. We're going to break you psychologically. That's the strategy, one of many that has been set forth. You do your own research regarding that. I'm not getting into all that. So that you can shut up and cry in your own misery and be withdrawn and pass those seeds of loss to your future descendants, so we can continue to control and pillage right through you and everything that relates to your existence. That's what you find in life. And what makes you think it's not present in crypto? What makes you think that? What makes you think it's not present in cryptocurrency? Currency, attention, money, value, exchange. What makes you think this thing is absent? I see so many things taking place in the real world that's void in crypto right now, but I know it's coming. I know it's coming. I'm not the only one who sees what I'm talking about too. You can tell it's coming, but I just don't. Because it's so weird. It's so strange to me how you have a certain segment of individuals in the community who achieve success They achieved it. But again, because you have weaknesses that are present, we all have our strengths and weaknesses. And where we miss the mark is where we do not allow our strengths. We don't use our strengths to improve our weaknesses. You have individuals who've become well off in crypto where you could feel that they don't want you to become as well off as them. Because there are many, many tricks that are played, right? Many psychological tricks and mind games that are played throughout the entire market. Why do you think that certain people have had enough of the scams, have had enough of the rug pulls, have had enough of the lies, have had enough of the deceit that's present, that people support, that people adore, that people praise? And what's worse, there are many who know better. They're just too selfish. They're just too self-absorbed. They're just too greedy. They want it all for themselves. That's why you have a hierarchy of things. That's why there are levels. That's why I'd like to describe certain things as us being at the bottom of the fucking pyramid. Because to get to the top, you got to go and break through all types of bullshit. You have to master everything that you're dealing with at your level now to ascend to the next level. But the powers that be want to be up top by themselves, including in this community. Talk is cheap. Action speaks louder than words. But because the internet is what it is, people depend on words. And because words emit power, right? They emit energy. They're energy. Energy is not something you could create or destroy. You could only redirect, right? Because these words that folks use can rather enliven you or destroy you, right? Can make you feel rewarded and enriched and empowered and motivated, or can make you feel all downtrodden, miserable, depressed, if you're not strong within yourself. It's disgusting to me. Well, not even, it is. It's still disgusting. Never mind that I'm not surprised that people on Twitter, because Twitter's a cesspool, that you see based on a fool, like just folks, just a simple stream that just, I mean, come on, man. How serious can you take this stuff? This is social media, man. Does this really have an effect on your day-to-day in your real life? You're gonna allow some words to just twist you up, some disagreement to just topple your whole day, your whole system, your whole mentality, and now you're just gonna, now you gotta get back, like reduce yourself to a child, an ignorant child, and now call names out. Name call. No, nigger. That's why you a nigger. That's why you lived up to the stereotype. That's why you did this. That's why you did that. You act like a nigger. Right. But this is Kumbaya. It's Kumbaya. Believe. It's already been documented. Because again, you cannot be surprised and taken aback to know. Dealing with cryptocurrency, right? The worst and the worst has happened to people already in crypto. Oh yeah. Don't pretend, don't act like you don't know. Don't act like it can never happen, because it can most certainly happen now, especially in a space like this that is still deregulated. No matter what these entities are trying to do, it's still not where they want it to be. Because the network effects are too huge. They're too strong. They're growing by the day. So they can't put the controls in that they want. Maybe things will change in the future, but only time will tell. And in the meantime, it's wild, wild west, right? So you find people with their heads chopped off. You find people who committed suicide. You find people who've been, you find them in suitcases, all kinds of stuff, kidnapped, everything you could think of. Because why are you dealing with money? That's bringing the worst out of people, man. People get doxxed. People get threatened. People get their lives threatened. People lose everything. All type. This is what you find here. So that's why I always tell y'all, protect your necks, people. Put your head, like really pay attention to what's really going on out here, man. Operational security is always priority. It's always a thing. Be responsible in what you do, how you carry yourself, who you talk to, who you engage with, what you talk about. Everything matters. And you often hear me say, nobody cares. It's because people don't care until it's time to care. Until some shit happens to them directly, that's when they're going to care. And those of us who have some type of sensibility, some form of humanity or empathy or compassion will care. Of course. Of course. But this is what you find here. There's no kumbaya. I don't care about how many conventions, conference, meetups, whatever you want to talk about, boat rides, this and that, plane rides, trips, blah, blah, blah. That's all nice. It's all relative. It has a purpose. Absolutely. Sure. It serves a purpose. But to everything that's going on there, all that good stuff, you gotta be very cognizant and realize, the dark is ever present too. It's always there. Always there. Just like death is knocking on everyone's door, we have an expiration date. I don't care what type of life extension technology people are working on, but we're not going to be here forever. So in the meantime, always move with the swivel. Like, really look at what's going on. Look both ways when you cross the fucking street in this crypto space. It is what it is. It is what it is. Folks clamor because of a 6-hour stream, all butthurt, tied up, doing whatever. Folks disagree. So this is not new. I came from another community where they had streams every week. Drunk on Crypto, that's what it was called. It had streams every week. It was crazy. It got crazy. Oh, every week for years. And y'all just butthurt over some 6-hour whatever. Come on, man. Where's your adulthood? Where's your foundation? What are y'all about? Like, in a sense, man, like really, because the thing is about it is everything is not for the public. In a sense, you got disagreements. You could also go to the background and iron out your issues and stuff like that. Sure, but because things happen in the internet, you expose yourself and this and that, and you got different reasons about it, whatever. And folks have eyes and this and that, but not everyone is as mature as you'd like to believe, because some people take that and they run with it and they cause more divide and they want to cause more drama and they want to cause more problems, because all they want to do is make sure that they break you in the spirit of Kumbaya. By talking shit, by making sure that you know how they feel, you really know how they feel. And you know what, in most cases, it's almost like, okay, they need to be thanked. Thank you for rearing your slithering head from the grass, you snake. Now everybody knows what you about. Ta-da! Everybody sees who you are and what you're about now. So this, you expose yourself. You have wretched people in the background who will never expose themselves, but they're there. And they're the worst kind. But they're there. Just be aware. You never know who's listening. You never know who's watching. You never know anything. All you do is, you're talking to a device, and it's supposed to be the worldwide net. So you throw a wide net out there with your voice. So you don't know what you catching. You don't know what who's listening. So unless you're a reckless, irrational, Homo sapien human being, the only advice of any advice that I would ever give, because I never give advice as far as anything, is because I only speak for my own position and awareness, is to be aware. Be aware of what you're doing. Have some sense. I don't care if you failed in school or nothing. You have common sense. We all understand pleasure and pain. You don't want to indulge in something and you're going to end up getting hurt because you might not be able to recover well from it, especially in crypto. Because when you got money protecting itself, and it's not always good. It's not always good. Right? What happens when you get rugged? Can you call the crypto police to save you, help you, recover your loss? Can you? No, that doesn't exist. You think there's not, entities out here that are watching what's going on, big money on the table, big money. They're going to do everything they can to secure theirs and make sure you're not a factor. And if you're a problem, you got to deal with the consequences that they bring into your door. And I'm not talking about government entities. Pick up what I'm putting down, people. Open your eyes. Open your eyes. And folks are talking on stream, comfortable, talking about millions of dollars, this millions of dollars. You're bitching on the stream. You're having some type of disagreement on an effing incident that's exposed to the entire world, and you talk about millions and this and millions of that, millions of that. You don't think you're putting an invaluable target on your back? You're putting a target on your back. Like, who does that? Crypto people do. Easy. And they laugh about it and they brag too. Flexing. That's why I never understood that too. I understand enjoying the spoils of your rewards. I get all that. But guess what? Guess what? There's more people that don't have than those who do have. And they watching you. They watching you. And you got these people here talking about, oh, Kumbaya, we need to onboard and hold hands and give and just be happy. And then how? How? Look, is there Kumbaya going on throughout the world? This is not being about pessimism. It's not. Is there Kumbaya going on throughout the world? Is there Kumbaya going on in never mind the world from a geopolitical or macro perspective? Is there Kumbaya going out in your own blood family? But no, dismiss all that. That doesn't matter. Nah, forget it. Nah, you know what I'm talking about. Just an old guy talking about crypto. You crazy. You think I'm crazy? You think I'm toxic? Call me a nigger. Call me whatever you want. Doesn't matter. In the grand scheme of things, doesn't. Because I know what I bring to the table. I know how I contribute to the betterment of others, and that's all. That's fine with me. But when my peers also experience the same degradation, the same attacks, right? The same attacks, I find it reprehensible. Absolutely. My peers in crypto who are trying to uplift themselves, because see, I don't attach myself with trash. That's just a fact. All around. That's just how I've been. Because I know the difference. It's not because I'm better. It's because I learned. I know the difference. I know what it's like to live as trash. Doesn't feel good. It's very unhealthy. Okay? There's nothing aspiring about that. There's nothing productive that comes out of that. So when I see the nonsense that I'm watching. And see, I speak also when I'm speaking, and the viewers who watch me consistently, I speak for them too. See, I understand what this is about. I understand what this is about. When I see my peers getting attacked, they're adults. They could do whatever they want, but it's also as if they're attacking me too. Because guess what? Many things that we're talking about, we talk about as a collective. So you attack one, you attack all. So it's fuck y'all. And I stand on it, just like I stand on truth.